Assalamu alaikum everyone, this is Amayu back with a new video. In today's video we will be working on very few basic functions of R that are specifically concerned with with the data sets. So which data I'm right now working on, let's see the directory. For seeing which data sets do I have in the directory, we'll be using this dir function. So I have a lot of data sets, but today I'll be working on this one, ycdata.xlsx. It's saved in the xlsx function. In order to read the Excel datasets, we need to have this function. So I'm librarying it. I've already installed read Excel. This package is important. So this package is specifically for reading the Excel data. So I libraried it. So now let's read this data. Data is equal to, I'm naming it as data, read underscore xlsx, right? What is the name of this data? ycdata.xlsx. Remember, you have to put this in these double commas. Okay, so now let's see what do I have in this data. View data. Okay, I've got some 15 to 16 variables starting with a date and other things. First function. What if I want to delete this specific variable from the data set? Then what would I do? The very first thing is quite easy, which is the null function. Just extract this variable from the data set and equal to none. Now it will automatically delete this variable from the data set. So how can I do that? My data has been saved with the name of data. Then just type data $date and equal to null. See, it has deleted this variable. It's gone. It's no more. There is another way as well to delete a variable. For example, I want to delete this level variable with that another way. So again, I'm naming this data as data. So this is data, and we'll be using this subset function. Subset this data for me. Again, inside the data name, inside this subset function, give the data name and select which variable I'm going to remove, this level variable. So you have to put this minus sign, always minus sign, minus level, right? Because I'm deleting it. If you do not put this minus sign, it will select the entire data, which will only have this level variable, right? So now, boom, this level variable has been removed from the data. So these two functions were specifically for removing a variable from the data set. Okay, now the second thing that I want to show you is how to rename a variable. How can I rename a variable? For example, if I want to change the name of this slope variable with something else. So that's easy. For that, you need to know that there is a function names, which extract the names of the of the columns from your data. So the data has been saved in data, and names function will extract the names of all the columns. See, I've got slope, I've got curvature, I've got BTC, I've got all those almost 12, 14 variables and their names. Okay, so now you know how to extract the names of those variables. If you know that, then it's quite easy to change a name of a specific variable. So how can I do that? First of all, use this names function as I previously used, and extract the names of all the variables from this data, right? This bracket is actually for extracting something from this extraction, right? I'm extracting the names, and I'm then extracting from those names a specific variable name or a specific thing. So if you want to extract a specific thing from something, then we always use these this sort of brackets. So what I want to extract from it, I'm telling it that extract again the names from this, extract the names. What I want to extract, I want to extract specifically the slope. Okay, extract the slope. And if I extracted it, what I want to tell this that rename it as slope parameter. Okay, see, I've got this names function and it will extract all the names from this data set, and I want to tell the R that inside these names extract specifically the slope, the name of the slope, and then convert it into this name, slope parameter, right? Boom, it has been changed to the slope parameter. If you see, previously its name was slope and now its name as slope parameter. So it is actually renaming a variable with a different name. Got it. What else we can do? For example, if you want to combine two different data sets, what you have to do for that? For example, I've got these 14 variables, 15 variables in this data set, and I want to extract specific 3 to 4 variables from this data set, and then I want to add it once again with this data set. So let's name this new data set as my data. My data is what? My data is equal to data, extract the first 3 variables from this data, 1 to 3. So this is comma and first 3 variables. This after comma it shows that which columns, and before commas it says that which rows. We are not concerned with rows, we want every row, so just put nothing before the comma, and after comma just put this 1 to 3. It will extract the first 3 variables. See, now let's see my data. What do I have in this my data? See, I've got 3 variables in my data. Now if I want to combine these two data sets in a single data set, how can I do that? Quite easy. For example, let's name it as combined data. This new data set is combined data. For that we'll be using cbind. Okay, cbind function. The first data was saved with the name of data, and the second data was saved with the name of my data. So just give the names of those two data sets, it will combine them. See, now just view this combined data. Okay, it has combined the two data sets. Remember, the number of observations must be equal to each other, otherwise it will give you an error, right? So the number of observations were equal, so it just combined the two data sets, data and my data. Brilliant. Now, last but not the least, how can we create a dummy variable? This is important because most of the time we want dummies for our data set. So how can we do that, creating a dummy variable? Okay, for example, if we see, we have got negative values in this slope parameter and we have got positive values in this slope parameter. What if I want to give 1 for the values that is actually equal to 0 or greater than 0, and I want to give 0 to the values that are less than 0? So then it will be a sort of a dummy variable for it. So first of all, very important, this data is actually saved in the combined data. I know this, the name of this data, combined data. I want a new dummy variable in it. So after the name of the data, you just put the $sign and you give a dummy slope, dummy for slope. So I want this new variable, dummy for slope. This is actually the name of the new variable. What it will be equal to, right? What it will be equal to? We will be using if-else function, if-else, right? What if-else? Extract this variable, slope parameter. So data $slope parameter, sorry, this is not data, but rather combined data slope parameter, and extract the values that is equal, either greater than or equal to 0. Okay, that is either greater than or equal to 0. What I want to do is give the value 1 to them, and if it is not so, give the value 0, right? Combined data, I want a new variable in this combined data which I'm naming as dummy for slope. So combined data $sign dummy for slope, and then if-else function. If the combined data slope parameter, which is this variable, so extract the slope parameter which is either greater than or equal to 0, give a value of 1, and if it is not, then give a value 0. Quite easy, right? Boom. Let's see what do we have in this. It will have created a new variable, dummy for slope. So it has 0 values and 1 values, right? It has 0 values and 1 values. So I think that was quite easy. If you want to delete a variable, if you want to rename a variable, if you want to merge two different data sets, and if you want to create a dummy variable. So these 3 and 4, 5 functions are something that we always encounter with while working with the data sets for our research purposes. So I hope it was a helpful video, and please subscribe my channel if you haven't subscribed it, and like my videos, put a comment whenever you want to ask a question. If you want to contact me, just give your email ID in the comments. I'll come back to you, and I'll work with whatever problem you have facing in the R Studio. Thank you very much. God bless you all.